Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live in fantasy football players. Had an idea which offensive skill players would be drafted in Thursday through Saturday's NFL draft, but now they know their landing spots, who they will be playing for in the 2024 NFL season. So Jake Seeley of The Athletic posted his updated fantasy football rankings, and I thought it would be interesting to see where he placed the rookies for the upcoming season. So we'll take a look at the major names and where he places them at their position. So we'll start with the quarterbacks. He has Jaden Daniels as a quarterback one. So in a 12-team league, he has Jaden Daniels as that 12th quarterback. Washington Commanders got Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson coming off a disappointing 2023. But we know Daniels does a lot of damage with his feet, and we know how pivotal rushing quarterbacks can be for your fantasy football team. Couple spots behind him. Caleb Williams at quarterback 14. So Kirk Cousins is listed between the two rookies. Caleb Williams, not quite the threat with the running the ball, although he did have a bunch of rushing touchdowns. But what he does have is many offensive skill position weapons. He's got DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze, Cole Kmet, uh, DeAndre Swift, just so many guys to throw the ball to. Definitely placed in a much better position to succeed than last year's first overall pick, Bryce Young. JJ McCarthy, quarterback 24 now. It's unclear whether he will start the season as the starter because the team does have Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is listed at quarterback 41, but also has, well, he has Justin Jefferson, but Jordan Addison. He's got weapons to throw to as well. Drake May, quarterback 28. The Patriots do not have the receiving core that the Patriots or the Bears have, or even the Commanders for that matter. So he's listed at quarterback 28, and you wonder, Jacoby Brissett, quarterback 38. There's a chance he will start the season for New England. Then Bo Nix, quarterback 30. Bo Nix, I'm predicting he'll start. They do have he does have Zach Wilson listed as quarterback 37, but I think Nix gets the week one job. I mean, are you really going to put Zach Wilson out there week one? But we'll see what happens there. Michael Penix Jr. not ranked. Of course, he is behind Kirk Cousins. Let's take a look at the running back rankings. So we know no running backs went in the first round, and I forget if I mentioned, but this is half PPR leagues that he did his rankings for. So his top rookie is Trey Benson with the Arizona Cardinals. I'd love the pick for the Cardinals. He was taken in the third round. James Conner did rush for over 1,000 yards last year, but he's almost 30 years old. So I see Benson get a bunch of work. He is Jonathan Brooks one spot behind him at running back 40. Honestly, I think I'll put Brooks ahead of him just because I see more of a pathway to running the ball with Carolina. Chuba Hubbard was their bell cow back to end the season. Miles Sanders was a disappointment for the team. So I think Brooks could be their RB1 this season. Blake Corum, RB 48. Is he 48? 52. I don't know why 48. But anyhow, yeah. So anyhow, Los Angeles Rams, the only way he's going to get a lot of playing time is if Kyren Williams were to get injured. Williams did get hurt for a few games last season, but he was awesome otherwise. So Corum is actually behind Marshawn Lloyd, who is RB 51. And I wonder if he updated these rankings because I did this in the morning and it seems to be a little different. But anyhow, Lloyd 51, Green Bay. He'll be behind Josh Jacobs, who will get the majority of the carries. Ray Davis, now running back 54. Jalen Wright, running back 55 with Buffalo and Miami, respectively. Too many guys Wright's behind. I know he's a speedster, but I don't see him making much of a dent. Davis will be behind James Cook. Then Irving and Allen are running backs 56 and 57 respectively. And I'm taking a look. Did they? Yes, they moved Ezekiel Elliott up to running back 25. Signed with Dallas. I wonder if he went ahead of these guys, and that's why they're all a spot lower. Then let's go to the wide receivers. Let's see if those rankings changed. So already, Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver 9. We often do see a rookie wide receiver have a excellent season. Last season was Puka Nacua, who of course was not even taken anywhere near the first round. But you wonder if Arizona will have enough volume passing the ball. They still have Trey McBride, one of the better tight ends in the league. So Harrison already expected to be a wide receiver 1 in fantasy. Then it's a little bit of a dip down. Malik Neighbors, wide receiver 27. While I do expect him, I am a Giants fan, to be wide receiver 1 for the Giants. Just don't know if the Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, whoever is going to put enough passing yards up for him to be a very valuable fantasy guy for the upcoming season. After that, we got Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver 43. Ridley has moved on for Jacksonville. Christian Kirk probably be the wide receiver 1. They did sign Gabe Davis, so he'll be fighting for targets with him. Keon Coleman, I would have higher. So Coleman, wide receiver 46. He's probably going to be the Bills' number 1 receiver. So, Josh Allen's going to put up volume numbers. I get it. They got 2 tight ends that I'll probably do some work, Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. But I would have Coleman higher than Thomas. Xavier Worthy, wide receiver 47. Hard to rank him because, honestly, you don't know how long. I mean, I'm assuming Rashee Rice is going to be suspended, but how long will he be out? And will Worthy step up as the number 1 receiver while he's out? Ladd McConkey, wide receiver 61. I'd probably have him higher too because he lists Joshua Palmer 1 spot ahead of him at wide receiver 60, but Quentin Johnston was a huge disappointment last season, so McConkey could be their top target, and again, with a high-volume quarterback at Justin Herbert. Rome Dunze, wide receiver 62. 2 wide receivers ahead of him. He could be that Jackson Smith and Jigba role that he had with Seattle last year. And then you see a few other wide receivers listed. Adonai Mitchell, I think he could play a huge role with Indianapolis. Maybe would have him a little higher. Then listed tight ends, really only 1 that might be draftable. Brock Bowers, he has tight end 13. I feel like he might go higher on average in fantasy leagues, but people may have learned from taking Kyle Pitts so early his rookie year after he was drafted so high, and he didn't produce. He had over 1,000 yards, but only 1 touchdown, and just hasn't looked like top-notch tight end since, although Arthur Smith's gone now. But what are your thoughts about Jake Ciely of The Athletic's rookie rankings for fantasy football? Always fun to look at. I'll mention quickly his ranking, top 5 at each position, not rookies. So quarterback, his top 5. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, C.J. Stroud. Running back, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley. Wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And tight end, Sam Laporta. He's got Laporta number 1 over Travis Kelce, who's second. Mark Andrews, Trey McBride, and George Kittle. I think David Njoku's kind of low at number 9. But again, let me know your thoughts. Never too early to talk fantasy football. It's a year-round thing to discuss. But anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications.